In this video, we're going to build a landing page using artificial intelligence. So the landing page ultimately is going to look something like this. I will be making changes on the go, which are suitable for coding with AI. So if you would like to build something like that for your own product, for your own services business, then stick around till the end and we'll have a look at how we can do that with artificial intelligence. So the tools that we're going to use are Cursor, Claude 3.5. It's a chat interface, and yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. We might use v0.dev on and off a little bit just for some inspiration, and we also would be going to some other sites for some inspiration if needed. So for me, I do have a Figma file to start off with. You should be able to see that on the screen right now. So this is the design file that I basically got, and I don't like all of it basically, so I would be making some changes on the go. Some would be simply because of personal preferences, and the other ones would simply be because, let's say, that there's certain limitations with AI, and there's another limitation, which is that I'm not a front-end engineer. So maybe if someone was a front-end engineer and they were using AI, they might have been able to code that. I can't. So let's get started. So we're not going to give the whole, the PDF file or the SVG file to AI and ask it to just code the whole thing and it's going to do that for us. That's just not the way it works. Please be my absolute guest if you want to give that a try. I've done that, by the way. Did not work. It looked absolutely bad, let's say. So what you ideally want to do is break down your landing page into different segments, right? So this could be called segment 1, then this part we could call that segment 2, then this area section 3, then section 4, section 5, 6, 7, and then we have the footer at the end, which is section 8. And we're going to do them one by one so that we can basically perfect it according to our needs before we move to the next part. Now this is a Figma file, but the animations are missing over here, but we can just get to that part at the end. So let's get started with this one. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of this. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to integrate that into an existing application that I have. This is going to be a landing page, which is going to be on the same server, same everything. So I have the screenshot. Now I'm going to go to Cursor, and this is the file that I've created for the landing page. It's a simple JavaScript file, nothing fancy or complex, and I've pasted the image over here. Now I'm going to give it some commands to ask it to code what it sees in the file, and then we'll have a live look at what that looks like, the first pass. I'm going to pause the video over here for a few seconds, complete the prompt, and then we can resume from there. Alright, so the prompt is complete. You can have a look at that. So simply reference the attached image, told it that it's the design for the landing page and that the screenshot is only showing like partial part of the landing page. Then I've asked it to act as a senior front-end engineer experienced in Next.js. The rest of the web application is in Next.js as well. I've asked it to use any libraries that it might need and pay close attention to the color schemes, gradients, icons, and other such items. I've also told it the fonts that are basically being used. And now we are going to see how it does. Now, one quick thing over here while it generates the code is that you don't necessarily need to start off with a landing page. If you simply have an idea for a product and you have a rough idea of what your taglines are going to be, what your subtitles, your buttons are going to be on the landing page. For the design part, if you're not a designer, that's perfectly fine. I'm not one either. If I do not have this design file with me, what I would have done is either go to Google Images or go to Figma community or go to Canva and have a look at some templates of the landing pages. And in that scenario, what I could do is simply give it a screenshot of the part that I basically liked, and then just ask it to code that part. And the text is of course replaceable, so you can easily just replace that with the text that you want to add or the graphics that you might want to add. And we actually would be doing that for some parts of the landing page anyway, so you'll get to see what I mean by this. But yeah, that's more or less what needs to be done. So it has created that. Let's just copy this and paste that over here. So it's supposed to go to landing.js, which is exactly what I've created over here. Now let's update the app.js. Sure, why not? So in that we need to add the following lines to include custom fonts. Yes, please do. Continue. So it's taken us to underscore app.js file. What did it delete? Urbanist, that's fine. This is fine too, but why is it removing this part, the title, and also the favicon? No, I'm going to reject this because I do want this to stay. This is for what appears on the browser window. So I'll come back to this one. In the meantime, let's have a look at Tailwind configuration. Let's apply that. Then global CSS, it wants us to add a few things there. So sure, let's apply these changes. Accept. And then in index.js, it's removing everything else. Nope. Going to reject those as well. So I'll just tell it that everything else looks good, but please revise your suggestions for the index.js and underscore app.js file. I want you to make sure that none of the existing functionalities get broken by your additions. There we go. And then chat with codebase because I wanted to be able to access the files that I mentioned. You can also use @ to tell about specific files, but I just simply am not in the mood to do that. I mean, we have the privilege to give it all the files, so let's just do that. Right, much better. So it's preserving the routes that I had in index.js. We don't need to make any changes. Okay, already handles the routing correctly. Does it really? I mean, oh yeah, okay. If show landing, then return it. Sounds good. Yeah. And in app.js, is it now breaking? No, it's keeping that code that I previously had and only adding new things to that. So this looks good. And then in, let's create that. I already created that, but sure, why not? Accept, and we're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to build the project, npm run builds, just to make sure that there's no errors introduced by the new file that I've added, and likely there's not going to be any. All right, so npm run dev, you can do this to see the changes that it has made, which, oh, this is a different page. Yeah, this one, localhost 3000. It mentioned the port number at which the site can be accessed. What's the issue? Compiled, Redux persist failed to create. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay, so this is what it has created based off of this screenshot. So, I mean, it got the gradients right, got the text right, which should obviously would have, but there are a lot of things which still don't look exactly like that. So what I'm going to do is simply take the screenshot again, and now I'm going to ask it to compare that with what the page looks like right now. So I'll go ahead over here and tell it the landing page looks great. However, please have a look at the attached screenshot. This is the file that I got from the designer, and they're pretty pissed that the landing page you coded does not look exactly like the design file. So now what I'm going to ask it to do is not to just fix the issues, because it might not really capture all the issues. First, I wanted to capture all the issues, or identify or list all the issues, and then try to resolve them. So I'm going to ask it to please compare the design file with what the landing page currently looks like, and identify all the items that do not match once you have created that list, then implement the fixes so that the design and the landing page are 100% similar. Go ahead, and there we go. I think that should be enough. You can go with deeper prompts as well. The more details you can provide, the better. I mean, if you already have identified what those differences are, I mean, we've got eyes. This is what the design looks like. This is what the landing page right now is. These are not aligned. This text is smaller than it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be more spacing and so on and so forth. This looks weird. But yeah, you can also leave it to Claude to figure it out. To Cursor, basically, but it's using Claude at the back end as the model. So we'll just call it that. Going to accept these changes, whatever it says. So it made the list as well, button styles and these kind of things, and now it has updated them. So let's have a look. It's a bit better, but it's still not quite there yet. The gradients are fine, these parts are fine. Yeah, so I think it's the buttons and then a few other things. So let me just manually ask it to increase the spacing between the text. Please increase the spacing, or actually please increase, nope, let's be more specific. LinkedIn is, where am I? LinkedIn is cringe, where is that? Why is it even not there? LinkedIn is cringe, LinkedIn is cringe. So this text is here, and in the landing page we just don't have that text. Oh, it's just separated. Okay, fair enough, that makes sense. I'm just going to add this to chat and ask it to make, oops, no, add to chat, and please make these text elements 20% bigger and introduce a bit more line spacing between them. Let's see what that does, because I think that should take care of the size part. Right now there's like 30% of the screen that's from the height perspective that's still not being used. That's my observation. You might have made other observations. You can simply tell what those observations are, and it will introduce fixes for that. So yeah, marginally better. Now we still have how it works and roadmap, which are not aligned. So let's find where those are. Okay, so these two, how it works and roadmap, where does this end? I'm mentioning specific parts, but you can also obviously just chat with the whole file. I'll just add this to chat to be a bit more specific. What did I want to say? Yeah, center, align them to the page and make sure that they are horizontally aligned with the buttons that are in the same horizontal grid row or something. I'm not really very familiar with the front end lingo, but hopefully I would have captured the right one. Apply, and let's see what it did. Absolutely nothing, I think. But well, looks a bit better than it did when we started. And now I'm just going to do a final pass. Review the landing page as a senior designer. Find the issues and find the issues that you see here from the UI standards perspective, and then act as a front-end developer and fix those issues. Really hate to type, but Cursor is like a treat to use because you can just click on apply and add those changes. Otherwise, I use the voice extension within Claude to just, talk with that. I mean, as long as it's not some development related work. If it is related to development, then it's fine to type with cursor. So I think there are parts done. Let's just click on apply. Accessibility, this. A lot of changes. Let's just implement and see how it looks. If it looks good, then we'll just keep those changes. Otherwise, we'll take them out. Change the button. This still, yeah, this alignment looks fine. Actually looks good. Is it responsive? Yes, it is. Let's just do an inspect over here. Yeah, that's not responsive. Looks very weird. And all right, so let's ask it to please also make this page mobile friendly / responsive. It will likely use a media query for that, but let's see what it does. We'll just leave it to the experts. Mobile menu open, blah blah blah. Okay. I just hope that it does not break more things than it fixes at this point, but let's have a look. So now, okay, yeah, so it implemented this menu, which is much better for mobile phones. So let's try iPhone 14. So this is what it would look like on that. Oh, wait. I should not be clicking on the routing parts, but yeah, this is fairly fine. We can always, improve, keep on improving the design, individual items. Like for example, I would want this part to be a bit below and be more center aligned to the screen, and then more spacing here, and then this part should be appearing somewhere over here. But you can basically include that as you go. I'll just put a pin on that one for the time being. Now the next part in the design has this line sort of a thing going through. I don't know if there's a library for that in Next.js that can be used to implement this. Probably is. But if I look at this, the main thing that I see over here, which has the most value, is these 3 tiles or boxes and the content that's in there. I know that this is the most valuable part because I'm the one who created this particular part. So another way I can think of to represent this is just to have these 3 different boxes, and if I click on any of them, then on the right hand side there's like a bit of a explainer or a carousel or an image or a video that shows up, which is showing a bit more detail for each of these personas. So for software engineers it would be something else, for SaaS founders something else, BDR is something else. We don't necessarily need to define the exact steps. That can be a YouTube video that you embed on top of the page. So let's do that. Where do we start from? Yeah, let's take a screenshot of this part, and we're going to go to Cursor, right, and Command L. I'm going to paste this image over here first, and then I'm going to ask that add a new section to the bottom of the page. I mean, it's a very small page. Yeah, it's literally just one section for the timing. We'll call it who is it for, and then underneath I want to show 3 tiles which show the data that you can see in the screenshot. If a user clicks on any of those tiles, a more on the right hand side we should show more details which are specific to that particular tile. For the time being, just add some random information in the details part for each of the container, let's call it container, for the container that shows up when you click on a tile. I just want to see what it does, and then I don't know, I guess we'll take it from there. All right, this part's fine. So it added that as static. Good. Actually, I have an idea of what I want to show in the right hand side. Yeah. Let's just apply this first, see what it has done, and then we'll just take it from there. This was localhost, yeah. Who is it for? SaaS founders, this. Okay. So right now it's more of a horizontal display of the tiles. I want this to be vertical. Make the tiles show up vertically. Right now they are appearing in the horizontal direction. When the okay, let me actually show you what I'm thinking about. So if I go to so there's developers working on this right now. Is it me who broke this, or is it one of the developers? I honestly have no idea. Well, let's see, probably the staging environment should be up. So what I'm thinking about is beautiful. This part's broken as well right now. Content ideas, let's just go directly to that. Yeah, so in the application, if I have different themes added, so for example I've got these 3 different themes added, and then I generate ideas for each of these themes, and then these ideas are appearing to me over here. So I wish I knew these 5 financial metrics before I became an agency CFO. Yeah, shit. Are you leaving money on the table with the agency's pricing model? Yeah, I'd like to explore that a bit more. We increased our profit margins by 30%. That would be a good hit because it's for CFOs. The number one mistake agency CFOs make when, yeah, good. I want to show the ideas just as they appear in this window in the swipe mode in the front end, and ideally that should be interactive. So you see, so for example, yeah, if I click on software engineer, I should see a pane on the right hand side which shows the ideas which are for this particular theme, and then I should actually be able to click on like and dislike. I mean, it would be a static list of ideas, maybe 3 or 4, and when you like something it goes to the next one. If you dislike something it goes to the next one, and so on and so forth. So yeah, let's try implementing that. Did we push the previous change, or no? I think I stopped at some point. But what change did I make over here? Who is it for? Yeah, this one. Make the tiles show up vertically. Right now they're appearing in the horizontal direction. Secondly, when a tile is clicked, I want the users to be I want the container for that tile to show how ideas are displayed in the so I've got this file. Instead of a screenshot, I'm just going to tell it, like, use that code from there, make a static version of that, and then just display that, and let's see what it does. So when a tile is clicked, I want the container for that tile to show how the ideas are displayed, to show how ideas are displayed in the content ideas swipe file. Of course, this won't be dynamic, so you can just assume a few random ideas for each of the tiles. Let's go with 3 for each of the tiles. So when the user when the user clicks, So like or dislike for an idea, the next idea shows up. Okay, excited to see what it does. I hope I've done a fair job at explaining what I wanted to do. You know, one thing that's going to be really cool is that in the future, if you're able to feed it videos and it can actually understand what's happening in the video, because that would simplify a lot of things. I think OpenAI was working on something like that. They've been working on something like that for like, I think 6-7 months. And now their direction is a bit different, I think. So not sure when they'll come back to that, but whenever they do, that's going to be quite sweet, I think. So if I accept this, still one, okay, yeah, that's fine. This should work. So let's check what it has done. Do we still see? Well, it's not exactly what I wanted, but yeah, it's close enough. So right now what it's doing is it's still stacking the who is it for the tiles, and then when I click something, the ideas is shown at the bottom. I want them to show on the right hand side. So let me try and describe this to the AI. So I'm going to just go over here and record it in an audio message and then paste that into Cursor. So right now the tiles are stacked on top of each other, which is perfectly fine, but the width is a lot more than it needs to be. So the width should be fixed, but as you can see, there's not a lot of text. I mean, the lines used in each of the tiles are not that lengthy. The sentences are not that lengthy. So you can cut the width of each of those tile components. And then what I want is that right now when I click, the expanded component shows at the bottom. I want it to appear in parallel to the tile, so on the right hand side. So it's going to be sort of like a 2-column 3-row table sort of a structure, except that the second column is going to be sort of like a merge cell where all the rows are just combining into just a single row. So it's like 1 row, not 3 rows. But in the first column, there are 3 rows, which is representing 3 different tiles. Just ask me any questions if that does not make sense. Yeah, I was definitely not typing all of that. So I can just copy this and paste that over here. Let's see what happens. Two-column structure where let's just apply it. We'll see visually how it looks before we come back. Okay, much better. So the layout part, it has cracked that. That is good. Now if I click here, so this is what it shows me: software engineer ideas, how AI is evolutionizing, like it, dislike it, it just sends me to the next one. And once all of them are done, ideally it should move to the next one or the previous one, depending on which one the user has selected. And of course this needs to look a lot better, because I mean over here this is what it looks like. I think someone removed something from here, because they, even in this page there was a lot more spacing. Right now it's just like compressed together. So I don't know who fucked up over here. It definitely wasn't me. But yeah, that's a problem for another time. Let's yeah, let's take a screenshot. That always helps. So this is the page that we're on. Deep dive with, oh, forgot about that. I'll take care of that later. Anyways, let's go back to Cursor. So over here, we're going to give it a screenshot, and then we're going to start telling it what's still long. This is good. I think we are pretty close to what I actually wanted to implement. just one more thing. The idea section should look more like it does in the attached screenshot. I don't want to show the, what was that, bulk mode toggle, I think. Yeah, bulk mode. Don't want to show the bulk mode toggle, but you should show the tag for the idea coming up next, and the progress bar, etc., so that it looks exactly like the original page. Please go. There's a few more things. Actually, that would be in the second iteration, because if you just give it too many things, it just confuses and sometimes just misses out on a few things. So I'm not going to do that with it. Components UI progress. Do I have that imported? Is that chat scene? We'll see. We will see. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, let's just apply and see what happens. Was it 4? Yeah, okay. Beautiful. That is much better. The view content ideas 5 or 15. I like this. I dislike it. I like this. And now it just vanishes. The vanishing part is not so cool. We'll fix that. How we acquired our first 100 customers, like lessons learned from pivoting our SaaS product. That's again good for SaaS founders. BDRs, building rapport with C level executives. Nah, just one. Oh, 5 cold calling techniques. Let's like that. How we closed our biggest deal yet. Something that a BDR would say. Building rapport with C level executives. I disliked that previously. Oh, okay, so if you dislike, then no, it still shows the next one. Oh, when the ideas are finished, then it just disappears. That's fine. And actually, I think I'm not even going to do anything more over here. This looks fine. I'm going to just ask it to add a bit more spacing between this part and the top, so that ultimately the whole thing will come a little bit down, and who is it for should be heading, I guess. This is, well, let's find out. Is that like a H1, H2, what is it? It's an H2. Let's make this an H1. Should I have an H1 here? Well, let's try. Let's see. LinkedIn, and I want to say add a bit more space between this part and the top navigation bar. They are too close together right now. Done. What else did I wanted to change? I think this, I wanted that if I do this, and again, it should not display. I will come back to that. It's fine. This is what I said, and in landing page it made these changes. Let's do this. If you want to add even more space vertically at the top, you can use a custom class file. Nah, I don't want to. It's fine. Did anything change? Not so much. Yeah, let's apply that. Maybe this will help. Yeah, okay, much better, much better. Who is it for is still appearing, but that's probably because the screen is a bit bigger than a normal laptop screen, but even then it shouldn't appear. Well, let's see how it looks on this page. Okay, on my Mac screen it looks good. On the extra screen, who is it for is appearing, which it should not. Okay. Well, let's actually ask it if it can help with that, because probably it can. on bigger screens, this above heading appears without a scroll, even though this is a separate section. This makes the hero section look a bit bad. Can you make it such that can you add a scroll effect? Let's call it that. Maybe there is something like this in the front end world. Can you add a scroll effect so that the next section only appears when you scroll down a little bit? Some sort of an animation, basically. I think it should be able to do that because this is a normal animation that I've seen in a lot of websites, so shouldn't be too hard to implement. Apply, accept, save. Oops, import using view, failed to compile, can't resolve. Oh, okay, this model is not found. Did it tell me the command to install that? You know what? I'm going to do this. Fix it. Well, just to give you a background, I'm not a Next.js developer. I mean, frankly speaking, I'm not a web developer at all. I am a software engineer, but I haven't really developed any websites in my career, frankly speaking. I've mostly been in the AI space, and you can basically navigate that space without having to get tied up in web development. Or if you're using, yeah, I'm not using yarn, so that's fine. After installing the package, you can do blah blah blah. Okay, let's apply this. I trust AI. If it's saying it needs that, then it probably does. And the library is installed as well, so the error should be gone. And so is the site. Perfect. Oh, that's because I was installing that, so the site stopped. It's compiling. Starting ready in 2.3. Okay. LinkedIn is cringe. Breach. Who is it for? Yeah, so it did not really implement what I asked it to implement, which was, well, who is it for? It should not appear unless it's like a scroll or something. Let's try again. So I'll help you add the scroll trigger animation for the who it is section. We use the framer motion library. Supply this again. Maybe it missed something. No, it didn't, because no additional changes. All right, inside blub. Did it ask me to do something here? All right, so the animation is still not working. When I load the page, I'm still seeing that section without even having to scroll. Please identify the root cause for this and then fix it. Problems like the section is still visible before the animation triggers. To solve this, we need to ensure the section is initially hidden and only becomes visible when. Okay, that's yeah, that's a fair. I don't know if it's a fair method for this, but it's a method that works. So it is a good thing that the initial part does not contain that. So the user can be basically laser focused towards the try it out, it's free call to action. Actually, there should be one more thing over here, which is Yeah, underneath the button, please also add a no credit card required label. It actually does not require one. I'm going to market the product in the video as we go as well. I mean, not as much, hopefully. No credit card required. Edit that's good, but what does it look like? Yeah, that's fine for now. I mean, I ideally wanted something a bit more. Um, Actually, I don't know what I wanted, so that's fine. Let's take a screenshot of this, and now I'm going to tell it the anim the who it is for section now does appear when you scroll as an animation. However, see the screenshot attached. The section text is appearing way below. Way below what? Way below the way down on the screen. Whereas it should actually appear on the top after the animation has executed, I guess. Yeah, let's see what it does. Did something, we're going to apply accept and break a working thing. Not an issue. Just revert the changes. Revert the changes a bit more. This part was fine, and now we're back to how it was previously. Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much time on this part. The final, what do we call them, fine tuning and these kind of things we can do more towards the end. For the timing, I'm more interested in just having a full implementation of the landing page. So we got this part sorted, sort of. So the personas, we can see that over there, over here. We want this to have some colors. So I am a dot and software engineer. That is something that I actually liked. So I'm going to ask it to do that. And then we're going to move to the next part of the landing page. So let's add that screenshot over here. I'm going to start a new chat because the previous one likely got crowded and AI is just going to get confused now because the context window is getting larger and larger. So yeah, okay. Right now the title of the tile just says software engineer, etc. I want it to appear the way it did in the design file, and I've attached a screenshot of the relevant section for your ease. There we go. Da, 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 okay, so it's made the changes. Let's accept them, and we come back over here. I'm a software engineer. The color is really bad. How do I tell it to use LinkedIn blue? Looks good. Just change the color of the title like BDR SaaS founder. Try using the LinkedIn blue shade. Shade. Apply. Wait. Okay, I mistakenly clicked on cancel instead of accepting the changes. So that's done. And yeah, this is a bit nicer than it was previously. Could still be better, but yeah, this will do for the time being. Who is it for? You select something and there we go. Still feel like if this appeared a bit at the top, this could be ideally a bit widespread and just be, bigger as well, just like in the design. But we can do that part later on. So what's the next thing that we show? So you like, and then dislike or whatsoever you like, a few. I think right over here, we could actually show what happens inside the application as well. So you like or dislike some of the ideas, and then you see the list of your accepted ideas, and then you can generate posts based on that. So what if we just kept all of that on this page section? Yeah, we could actually just call it how it works, and that this could be an interactive tutorial for that. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So how it works is going to now become who is it for now becomes how it works. There we go. And since now this page is a lot more important, I'm going to add another page in that interactive demo. Am I allowed to add brackets like that? Apparently I can. No, yeah, so I was saying that since it has become a lot more important, and the next thing that we will add, we want to be able to see how it would look from the user interface perspective. I think it's a good time to actually fix this first so that it appears at the top, like, instead of here, it should appear here after the animation has ended. And then we design what appears after you have liked all of these things, like the actual thing which happens, which is you move to the generate post section. Then you have this list of ideas. You can click on any and then click on generate post, and it actually generates the post for you, and so on and so forth. We want to show that part. So let's just, move this to the top first. Okay, so I take a screenshot of this. I'm going to go back to Cursor, close this, and I think this needs a bit more details. I'm just going to go back to the voice extension here and describe what I really want done. So if you look closely in the attached screenshot, you can see that once the animation has finished, when I scroll down from the hero section, then the how it works section is sort of positioned in the center of the screen, and there's a lot of white space at the top. What I want is that when you scroll and the how it works part starts appearing, it should appear at the top of the screen, not at the center, the bottom of the screen, or in the focus area basically. So can you please change that? And when you do, please also increase the size of the tiles by about 30%. And by that I mean just increase the height by 30%, the width, the text size by 20 to 30% as well, and just like do your best, use your best judgment for that. So just to make sure that it looks good, basically. I'll just see what it does, and then you can take it from there. Did not really change anything. Just apply again. Yeah, I think I clicked on apply too quickly. It had not finished the generation, which is why previously when I accepted, nothing really had changed. So let's wait this time. Okay, done, accept, save. We come back here. Yeah, much better. This is good. Okay, tips and tricks on the left hand side. That's okay. And we just want more spacing between these elements. So I'm going to do this. Open the code over here. Yeah, looks good. The next thing I want you to do is in the review content idea section for each of the tiles, increase the spacing between the tag, the idea text, the like, dislike buttons, and the next part. Only the vertical spacing, because otherwise there's just too much white space at the bottom. I actually should have kept this screen angle from the very beginning. Would have been just a lot more easier for me as well. Because I mean, I actually have 3 screens, but I can only share one for, record one. Maybe there's a way to record multiple at the same time, but I don't know that way. So yeah, that's the main reason why I'm keeping all of this on a single screen. But this view is much better. Guess you learn by doing. Accept, save, and oops. Okay, not bad. They should probably be center aligned. They should also be center aligned. So we'll centerline that, and I think these two things, we can move them a bit further down. Apply, add text center class to the, here are the key changes. Okay, these are the changes that it has made. So accept this, save. Yeah, this is good. And I want you to collectively move the idea and the like, dislike buttons a little bit further down, not too much. Ideally they should be exactly in the center in the middle of the next and the tips and tricks like tags. I hope people understand that. If not, we can always revert the change and then try again. So we'll see. Apply. Accept save. Okay, so it just made a mistake. Let's apply again. So right now there's 2 errors, now 8, 2, 3. So the error still stays. Let's get back to this point and then apply these one by one. It's literally just one line. Why is it taking... So this line is the problem. Increase the bottom margin, blah, blah, blah. Revert, reject, save, error gone, apply, continue. And now let's have a look at the change that it is recommending. Okay, so it removed this, added that, removed this, added that. All of these things look fine. I mean, there's just HTML changes. So what's causing the issue? Let's take these out. Yeah, that might have been the issue. So add these things. This actually made no change at all. I think these have already been applied when I applied the first one. Yeah. All right, I think this part is fine. So now we just need to do the next thing, which is, yeah, when all the ideas have been liked, then we want to take it to the post nation part. When I forgot, I need to do this view. Gives me better visibility. So actually, let's do a voice note. Hi, so in the how it works section, when the user has liked or disliked all the ideas from a particular tile, instead of the view or the container going blank, I want that they are then shown a similar interface as we see in the idea. No, wait. In the generate post page. So they will see a list of accepted ideas and they will be asked to like or select one of those ideas, and then a post will be generated for that. Now, I don't want you to actually dynamically generate a post on the go. I just want you to store an example of a post in the code file, and we'll just display that. And then give them the option to like or dislike the post or see how it would appear on LinkedIn. Okay, I think this is actually a pretty good idea. I'm not sure how it would look when the whole thing is finished. I basically just transgressed from the design altogether, but that's fine. I think this is like a lot better because I was actually thinking about a way for like a free trial which does not require a sign up, and this could be a pretty good way for that. If we can add some rate limiting or something else of that sort, this could be a free trial of a sort as well, and then we just have the subscription packages, so you don't really have to even sign up for testing the product. That's the same for the future. The time being, even the static part is a pretty neat way to show what the product does basically. Nothing happens. Oh, I forgot to do this at the rate generate post. So let's actually revert the changes. We don't want them. Yeah, everything else is perfectly fine. So yeah, okay, we're back to where we were. And yes, you have to tag the file. I mentioned that in the voice note, but I forgot to tag the file. So Chris actually had no idea what I was referring to. But hopefully now it will. I hope it's not trying to actually call those functions and make it dynamic right now. No, it's an example post. So post, yeah. So that's likely a temp. Yeah. I'll actually have to add some actual posts which are generated by Lego to that. But for the timing, anything that AI was able to come up with, I think it's good to start with. I'll just replace that later on. Done, done. Save, refresh. Didn't need to refresh actually. Click here, like, dislike, like. Select an idea for post donation. Okay, and there we go. Like and save. Preview on LinkedIn would do nothing as expected. That's fine. So on Lego, it's actually like this. So you've generated a post, and let's say I like this. If I do like it, I can then view that post. That is how it will appear on LinkedIn. So I can see how it would look like on the mobile device. I can see how it would look in the dark mode, expand, and then yeah, that's a completely made up story. But these kind of stories are more for inspiration. So when you're building in public or sharing some sort of a lesson, it's much better in that scenario to actually use the who's messaging me. Okay, yeah. So I think in the dashboard, I actually just got the message for that. There's like an API that's broken, which is why the dashboard is not loading. I think it's the get user stats or something. User usage details is broke. Yeah, exactly. So that would open, but I could still go to content ideas. It also has that, so you can just add your own idea, give it a bit more detail about your specific idea. So then it can help you with that. And the master branch, I think, is something that I broke just before I started the video. So this is just something I'll fix a bit later on. Yeah. Actually, I can test that right now quickly before we move to the next part, which is source here. env bin activate python app.py. It's probably an import or something that's so no, it should be working. That's for the backend part, not the front end. Let's just do the build part for this as well. Because we've added the landing page in. Okay, so if it was not something by me, then yeah, that's not the reason why it is broken right now. I actually wanted to show you the landing page on the actual domain as well. And yeah, so I will still need to basically modify this a bit more to look like how the post look like over here, right? So when the post is created, you can just click on that and then be able to do these kind of things right from the landing page. That would be a pretty good interactive demo of a sort. This looks ugly, by the way, too many words, and then interactive demo like this just looks weird. So I'll just maybe go with one of these things, but that's for later. So now let's switch back to the design. What do we have here? We wanted a YouTube video, so we need to embed that. Okay. Create post. I think this whole thing we have just highlighted that in the interactive demo. So just like I told in the start, that I'm going to make some changes in the design because you can't really code it exactly like that with AI. I mean, someone who's a front end developer who knows the terminology, who knows about the libraries, for example. Let's imagine an imaginary library called Alpha Bravo Charlie in Next.js. If the front end developer knows about that, it can actually tell it that, hey, use this library and there's a function this and use that to create like a line which looks like this or something, and then AI would actually be able to do that. But if I just give it an image, it's not going to do that for me. And I'm saying that because I actually tried doing that with Claude for about a good 1 hour to try to get exactly what we have in the design file. It just did not work. So before I even started creating the video, I had a good idea that I will have to do some thinking on the go and maybe adjust the design a little bit uh, in a way that AI would be able to help with. And I've been using it for quite a long while, so I have some idea of the kind of things it would be able to do and the kind of things it just simply would fail at. Anyway, so post generation part is done. You can view the post as well. So view post is something that what happened here? Okay, so it stopped the development server npm run. Let me actually do one thing quickly. Git stash and git pull. Because the backend is working, the front end is working. I don't know why the side is down. So I'm just pushing the front end again in case there was, well, actually, when I pulled, there was nothing there. So not really sure what's happening over here. Maybe just the EC2 server is turned off. But I mainly wanted to show you the landing page deployed as well. But you actually would be able to do that anyway by the time the video will be uploaded. So you can just go to the website lego.ethica.com and have a look at the landing page over there. For the timing, let's just run the development server over here. pm run dev. So let's see where we are at. Up till this point, we are good. These are just like memorability factors that we wanted to add. So Walter White on LinkedIn, what that would look like. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna add that. But for this part, how it works, interactive demo, I think we are good to go. So I can select something and be able to do this, like and save post. This will of course need to be changed. I'll add a toast notification over here, which would look a lot better. And then preview on LinkedIn will show me something like this. So I'll have to sort of import this container over here as well. So it would show over here. But for the videos perspective, I think we can just stop at this point, not implement that part, and then move to the next thing. So does it make sense to show? So does it make sense to show Walter White's post over here when we are showing the images instantly in this part? Probably not. So I'll just park this for the time being and come back to this. Pricing does not really matter because people don't really start with the paid plan or even the trial of the paid plan. It's credits that we basically have. So when you sign up, you just get free credits initially, and you could use them in 7 days, in 20 days, a year. They'll just stay with you. Probably should get them to expire, but think about that later on. And yeah, so even if you click on the $9 plan or the $20 plan or anything else of that sort, you're not going to be asked for card details, so there's not going to be any trial of any premium version because all the features are basically open in all these um, tiers. So, do I implement this or not? Let's implement this anyway. Okay, because you might need to in your project, and if I won't need that, I'll just take it out later on. Just like we have an animation for the how it works section, create a similar animation after that section and then show the pricing section. It should look like the attached screenshot. Make sure use the right background color, background gradients, and note that the free standard and premium are three different sections. There we go. I think the video's gotten about an hour long. Um, highly unlikely that there would be people who are still watching, but if you are watching, then you probably really need to develop a landing page in the near future. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. And if there's some kind of things that you want to do with AI, I mean, ethical things, you can let me know in the comments, or there's a link to my LinkedIn profile in the description of the channel. You can find me through that and make those recommendations. Or if by any chance you're a front-end developer and based on seeing what AI can do, you have some ideas about how one can do front-end development better with AI, uh, to give those tips to me as well. Yeah, I mean, you can actually drop that in the comments as well. API not supported. What? I literally just applied this, continue, and you want the API keys. Probably a glitch. Let's see. Okay, so this is done. We'll leave you. Yeah, okay. This does not look too bad. No, the banners for the post on Reddit and Facebook. कोई post all right, so this is not too bad. Also does not look very good. Or yeah, so trial standard premium, that's still not working. And then what's the other problem? This is too expanded. What was it like in the design? Okay. Yeah, so there's two problems I'm seeing over here right now. All right. So right now, the what does it cost and the actual pricing is sort of appearing in next lines. And I actually want this to be sort of like a two column structure where what does it cost should be in column one, and the column 1 is going to have a very small width in comparison to the other column, and the column 2 is where the prices for 3 different tiers are basically appearing. And the other problem is that the free and premium is not clickable. These are supposed to be clickable elements, which when you click, the information about that particular package then starts showing up. Can you please implement these changes? Oh, I forgot to. Oops. Or did I actually paste that? No, I did not. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was responding to some messages. This video has gotten way longer than I had anticipated. I was expecting it to be like 30 to 40 minutes. Continue, and let's see what we have. Yeah, I think we really did need a pricing page. The reason why I might have not wanted to code that one is because the video has gotten longer. But I think we are pretty much close to the end of it. Wait, where did the accept option go? Did I already accept that? Guess we'll find out. Okay, yeah, there we go. So much better. Trial part done, premium done, standard done. Now I just have to add these things. That would be for later. What does it cost? Everything. I am most certainly not going to add a line like this. That's likely going to be a static asset that I have to import, like an SVG or something. Just screw that. Standard premium, this, that, done. Free per month, no. That's just sort of like a one-time thing, so let's remove that. Price, and per month is only paying once? No, not. Oh, that's like, okay, so it appears with each of them. So for free, that can be changed later, so not a biggie. The gradient is incorrect, I would say, so the rest is fine. I'll just take the screenshot again and ask it to focus a bit more on this part. Can you review the image again? The background gradient that you have used and the one in the design file does not match. I want you to try and match it a bit more, please. Thanks. If it doesn't, I think that's still fine, because even this looks, yeah, it actually aligns with these with this gradient, the one before that. So that should be okay. So after that, we've got this email course, the free email course 5-day, which people can take if they just want to do it themselves, grow on LinkedIn, or know how to use LinkedIn the right way, tips and tricks for that in like digestible parts. So this is important. I think I will add this actually. So let's take a screenshot of this. FAQs, we can just screw those, and then will just need a footer after that. So this is implemented, or did I? No, I think I have to apply these changes. Ensure everything text is wise, change the text, blah blah blah. Okay. This is applying right now, and then we have the next screenshot ready. Okay, so this is back. Now we can see the landing page on the actual domain as well. Because I pushed those changes. All right, so it's done the. This part's fine. I think they would require a few changes. I still don't like the color, but that's not really AI's fault. If you could just actually provide it the kind of colors that you need, it will do that for you. In my case, I'm just going to ask someone else for that recommendation. And now we just move. Okay, this does not look good. That's too many broken things. Command Z, save, and now apply. Literally took like an hour to apply, and then it messed this up completely. I think it's trying to, yeah, add these things at the bottom like a new. Okay, so it added the above part and forgot to take out this, maybe. If I comment this out, nope, does not work. Okay, I'm just going to do another round because it clearly failed the previous time. So I save it and I run this again. So we good till this point. Now we just need this email course part, which it's preparing right now, and then it's going to be the footer. That's it. So I'll take a screenshot of the footer as well, just to be ready for that. So I'll add that over here. Great. Now please add the footer to the web. Let's just call it landing page as well. Be careful about the colors that are used. So generation is being done. It's adding and removing things. Once it's done, we can apply that and see what the email course part looks like. Done. And over here we'll run this too. So yeah, that looks pretty ugly. What does it look like over here? So when this part as a tile is over, I think this one could just be white. Or just black background. React icons. Why do we need the icons? Probably need them for something. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not supposed to be applied. Reject. Save. And this is supposed to be run over here. And this is supposed to be applied. Accept, save. Do we have the footer now? Oh, forgot to do this. I will fix the email course part, the size of it, of course, but in a few seconds. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, I did a good job on the footer because in the design this was too big, I think. Actually, let's keep it big. Add an animation over here where there's like a bright light that passes through each of the characters from left to right, because this was an animation that was present in the design, but in the file that I've loaded it's not showing, but I still do remember that and kind of liked it, so I'm just going to implement that. The verbiage is likely going to change, of course, but yeah, still wanted to see if AI could do this. I think it would be able to do that because it's not it's a very commonly used thing, so should not face any issues with that, hopefully. Accept, save, done. Now let's try necessary the global CSS, create a new, not a new one. I don't want that, so let's just save that in global CSS. We'll just add that here and done. Yeah, that did not do very well. It just basically made it disappear. I made the changes you asked, but now that particular text is not appearing at all. Wait, I want to give it the whole code base. Actually, it is appearing, but it's appearing as white, so that's wrong. But let's still see. No, 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 wait. Reject. This is supposed to be landing page. Mistake, global.css, continue. Yep, much better. So that's appearing correctly, and if I accept this and save, do I see the light passing through? Not really, but it did do something like a blink, like dimmed, and then that wasn't what I wanted, but this is fine. Please also make the don't be a nobody text 20% bigger and add a bit more vertical space before the next things appear in the footer. Okay, so that's done. Let's apply that. Not in the landing page. Yeah, in the landing page actually. Yeah, this looks better. Now I just need to add the links to these things because right now if I click here, 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 or here, it's just going to go back to the landing page and do nothing else. So if you would be doing that, of course, you can just tell it that for each of these buttons route to this page, that page, and so on and so forth. So like for example, for newsletter, I will actually tell it to go over here, newsletter.ethica.com. For the blog, I'd probably route it to the website. There's a blog section over there. Yeah, over here. And then for the privacy and terms and conditions, we've got these pages. So I'll just ask it to route over there. But this is I'll just add that over later on. The one last thing I want to do is to basically improve this one because you can see it just simply pretty much copy pasted the style that we see over here, which isn't ideal. So let's try to give this part a black background and see how it pops up. And I'm also going to try to ask it to do its own thing to make it better. Have a look at the want to do it yourself section and try to make it look visually more appealing and aligned with the design of the rest of the page. Let's just ask it that and see what it does, and then we'll ask it to try a black background and the whole thing. Landing page and this. Okay. Okay, so let's accept these changes and refresh. Not this actually, sorry, refresh this. Okay, so the buttons and those things, they're looking a bit better. This 10,000 plus, where did it come up with that number? Well, I guess 10,000 plus professionals have improved the LinkedIn presence. That's a very generic statement, not completely untrue. But let's just ask it to make the background of that component black. All right, so it's applying the changes, accept, save, and let's see what it looks like. So yeah, it doesn't look bad, but two components which, line by line are looking exactly like this, that does not really, um, that doesn't look too good, to be honest. So I will do something else with it, but I mean, if you were able to basically give it an idea by maybe taking a screenshot from somewhere else, maybe having a look at some other examples of newsletters or something similar, then 100% it would be able to implement those things for you. And yeah, so it would be able to do those things for you, implement that in a proper fashion, basically. Right now, I'm kind of out of inspiration or creative ideas over here, basically, which is why I'm not able to proceed further with this. If you would have for your own landing page, 100% you can just explain those to AI, and it would be able to help you in implementing those. Whenever there's like too much text that you want to type, you can just use some voice extension or something similar to record yourself and then feed that the text that is generated. Any speech to text software should work for that. You can then just simply copy paste the text into Cursor with all those details and then watch it do the magic. And if you would like to see how the final result turns out, because that is likely not going to be in the video, I still likely am going to have to spend some time doing some further polishing. I mean, this is definitely not making to the final landing page. So yeah, you can just go to the link lego.ethica.com and you will actually be able to see what I was able to finally have like as the end result with AI. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to see our journey as an AI first organization, as an AI first startup, basically, you can give me a follow on my newsletter, which is The Efficient Entrepreneur. This was the link to that, which is taking a huge amount of time to load. But either way, it's newsletter.ethica.com. I'll also drop that link in the description. I'll drop the link to the Chrome extension that I was using for the voice to text conversion in the description as well, and anything else that comes in mind which seems helpful for these kind of use cases, I will drop that in the description as well. So do remember to see that, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.